Oh, you're back. This is Sean.rampersaud here with the Mortgage Group. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about what's happening with the real estate market going forward for December 2024. So basically, a lot of things have been happening in the mortgage world. Obviously, I'm a mortgage broker, but the Canadian real estate market is going through some major changes, huge spikes and huge dumps. So I want to talk to you about some of those so that you can find out if it's a good time to buy in Canada or not. Just for your information, I'm still buying myself kind of all over Canada because there are some good deals to be had and there are some increases in value that have been going on throughout the year and are still continuing to happen. What's happening is the inventory levels in some parts of Canada have been going down, and so it's been a seller's market for a lot of the time. So if you are looking to move out of the country and sell all your assets, right now is a great time to sell because you're going to get top dollar for that property. Now, if you're looking to invest in a property in a growing market, there are still a lot of markets in Canada where you can make money. So there's a huge potential for growth. There's a lot of job stimulation happening throughout the country, depending on where you're coming from. But in the major cities, the job expectancy is huge. So that's another thing that's affecting the economy. And of course, Donald Trump is the new president of the United States, and that is going to affect Canadian real estate and the Canadian mortgage market going forward. At the end of the video, I'm going to be going through some things, including what the average selling price is in a lot of the different municipalities in Canada so that you can see which areas have growth potential and which ones don't. And I hope that it gives you an idea on what you can afford in Canada. But make sure you reach out to me if you ever do want to find out exactly what you can afford going forward on a mortgage. So currently, our lowest 5-year fixed term mortgage is sitting at 3.99%. That's what with a popular Canadian bank, and the rates that I can get you are actually better in most cases than what you can get walking into a bank. And our variable rate is sitting at as low as 5.2%. So rates are looking fantastic. Now, I'm sure you hear that there are these Bank of Canada meetings that happen all the time. And a lot of people get confused about these Bank of Canada meetings. So I get calls from customers sometimes that think that the Bank of Canada meetings are affecting fixed rates directly, when in fact they're not. They're affecting the variable rates directly. So keep that in mind when you're shopping around for mortgage rates. But with the variable rate as low as it is now, with a lot of further potential for it to go down even more, it might be a good time to explore the variable world. And I've done a lot of other videos on fixed rates, on variable rates. You should take a look at my variable rate videos so that you can find out if the variable rate is something that you may want to get into yourself. But a variable rate essentially is a fluctuating rate that moves with the prime rate. And over the last 20 years, the variable rate has been beneficial for a lot of people, especially if you are doing something short term and plan on only having the mortgage for, a few years instead of a 5-year term or a 10-year term that you may do on a fixed rate. The next two Bank of Canada meetings are happening on December 11th. And then again, and so that's December 11th, 2024. And then again on January 29th, 2025. So that's when the rates can potentially start going down again. So you're going to hear a lot of news and a lot of talk about these Bank of Canada meetings. Ask me if you have any questions about it and how it can potentially affect your variable rate or even affect your fixed rate. Mark your calendars for those changes because a lot of buyers are waiting for this. I don't know why they're waiting for it exactly, but a lot of people are waiting for it. It affects the variable rate. So if you're going on a fixed rate, don't bother waiting for that. Look for your dream home now. But if you are specifically like, I want a variable rate because the rates are potentially going down, then definitely wait until the December 11th at the very least rate change date. There's some new rules that recently went into place in the mortgage world. So on November 11th, they got rid of the stress test for mortgage renewals. So basically what that means is the government put this thing in place called the stress test years ago. And what it ended up doing is it made it hard for people to renew their mortgage with another lender, even if the other lender had a lower rate than the bank that they were currently with. This posed a huge problem for people because they can no longer qualify with another bank. So they were stuck with whatever rate that their bank was providing them. And some banks did inflate those rates because they knew people wouldn't want to leave. So that is going to be gone as of November 11th. And it's going to be hugely beneficial to a lot of people that are looking to move from one rate to another or even one product to another. You have to requalify sometimes when you change the product. Or if you are going to be pulling any money out of your house and refinancing your mortgage to pay off debt or to buy another property, whatever it might be, it doesn't really matter. The stress test would have been in play. It is no longer in place. So this is going to make it a lot easier for you to get that mortgage. Starting on December 15th, another new rule is coming into play. Actually, two new rules are coming into play. Number one is that you are only going to have to put 5% down on properties up to $1.5 million. So that's huge. Before, you would have to put 20% down. And if you wait until the end of the video to see what property values are in some of the cities in Canada that I'm talking about, there's cities in Canada with property values of $1.4 million on average. So if you only have 5% down, that would not be good for you if you had to put 20%. So now this new rule on December 15th is going to be 5% down for properties up to $1.5 million. So prior to these changes, a lot of people were moving to B lenders, private lenders with way higher interest rates because the stress test was affecting them. That's no longer going to be the case. So I think you're going to really like that thing is gone. It was a massive headache for all of us. Now the big one, my favorite, December 15th, another huge change happening. 30-year amortizations for all first-time homebuyers with no premium penalty. So I'm going to explain that in English to you because I sit there and I listen to these kind of words all day. If you don't know what amortization is, it's how long it's going to take for you to pay off the mortgage. So normally, people are on either a 25-year amortization period to pay off the mortgage. Now, the banks are going to be allowing up to 30-year for anyone that is getting a new mortgage and first-time home buyer. You have to be a first-time home buyer. And a first-time home buyer is anyone that hasn't bought in the last 4 years. So this is going to help in a couple ways. You're going to qualify for a larger amount, which is great news for everyone. And on top of that, the rates are going to be better because they're not charging a premium to the rate. So if you do have any questions on if you are a first-time home buyer or if you would qualify as a first-time home buyer, please reach out to me. My number is going to be in the comments below. This month was awesome. My team and I, we saved 11 deals from falling apart that were declined by banks or by other brokers. This is really significant and it really is something that's close to my heart because we were able to get something done and get people into a property when they were declined by someone else. So they may have been distraught. They may have been frustrated. Why can't I get approved for this mortgage? And we were able to find a way to get these people approved. So they were able to meet their goals and dreams of home ownership, get their families into a home. The real estate agents were able to earn an income because of this. I think it changes people's lives, and I'm really happy to be able to offer that kind of service. So if you ever have a tough scenario where you can't get approved, make sure you reach out to me anytime. I'm the easiest person to get approved for a mortgage. We also won a couple of awards this year. So we just got back from our annual Christmas party where we were awarded top 5% in Canada again. So this comes with some significant benefits for you. Because of that, we work with a lot of lenders that will kind of work with us to get tough deals done. They're buying for our business and the volume that we're able to send them. And because of that, they also give us lower rates on the mortgage. So you can benefit from a few things: lower rates, easier approvals through us, just because we're winning these kind of award statuses. We also have access to more lenders. So one bank might decline you because of whatever reason, but another might approve you. So we work with an array of lenders to help you get approved for that mortgage and understand their products and their services so well that we'll find a way. You just let me know if I can help. And when you work with our team, you literally have 3 licensed brokers that are all working on your file at the same time. So that means that if I don't understand a way to get a file done or get your situation approved, my counterparts might. It's not just one person like at the bank that sits there and says, stamp, yes or no, approved. No, this goes through an entire process where we look at every single lender in every single scenario and try to get that mortgage approved for you. So call me. So let's talk some numbers here. Let's talk about Calgary first. Calgary has had its ups and downs over the years, but it's turned back into a seller's market in Calgary. The market is absolutely booming in Calgary right now. Average home prices, this is single family homes in Calgary, has increased 14% year over year. It's unbelievable. So if you invested in a $100,000 property in Calgary at the beginning of the year, it would be worth $114,000. Now multiply that all the way up to $1 million, say, and there's significant money that was made in Calgary in equity on Canadian real estate. But I also like to talk about what the average home price is in the municipality I'm talking about. And Calgary's average home price right now is $627,000 for a single family home, versus a lot of other Canadian cities that are way higher. And Calgary's got some big benefits. They're close to the mountains, clean water going through the city. It's a beautiful hilly city. So there's some major benefits. And I did do other videos on Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, Toronto, kind of all over the place on what's good about that city and what's not. So feel free to look at my channel. Edmonton, on the other hand, is a different ballgame. So Edmonton has seen increases in property values of 11% this year. That's on single family homes, townhouses, that type of thing. So it's averaged out over that. One area that you may find interesting about Edmonton right now is that condos, that's apartment style condos, have decreased in value by 6%. There's so many of them in this municipality. It's unbelievable. And Edmonton is also a very beautiful city. We've got a great river valley. There are loads of jobs here. We're kind of the gateway into the blue collar type job scenario. Lots of money to be made in Edmonton if you are planning on moving here. And feel free to reach out to me if you are planning on moving to Edmonton. It's a great place to live. But I can tell you the differences between Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Toronto, Regina, any city you really want to talk about, I've got some information on. And feel free to check out my website, www.lendramp.com, LENDRAMP.com. And I've got tons of information on that site about different cities, about the real estate market as a whole, investment market. Take a look, you'll find out. And the average detached home price in Edmonton is only $517,000. So they call Edmonton the most affordable city in Canada right now, the most affordable major city in Canada right now. And they take all things into consideration: type of income you can earn here, home prices and values. All of those things are taken into consideration. So there is still a huge potential for growth in Edmonton. So let's talk about some of the bigger cities. So let's talk Vancouver as an example. But Vancouver right now has had a decrease in overall sales and overall values. So they've had a decrease of 3.9% in property value. That's across the board. Townhouses, condos, single family homes have seen a 3.9% decrease. But single family homes in Vancouver have increased by by 7.8%. So they've increased in value only in the single family home range. Townhouses, condos have gone down in value. I think it was time for a little bit of a correction in Vancouver. It can't keep on shooting up and shooting through the roof, because it's going to push people out of affordability. So Vancouver has kind of stabilized at this moment, and it could be a good time to pick up a good deal in Vancouver right now. I have some friends that are, and some family that are real estate agents in Vancouver as well. And they've all noticed that there has been a little bit of a slowdown on real estate sales. It's not as frantic as it was before. The average home price in Vancouver right now is sitting at 1.25 million. So literally double what it is in Edmonton. Now, I know in Vancouver, you're on the ocean. It's very beautiful. Tons of great food, restaurants, hiking, skiing. I mean, everything is in Vancouver. You are definitely, that's a big reason for the increase in value, but it's literally half the price of a property in Edmonton. So if you're talking like a 2,000 square foot home in Edmonton, you pick it up around $600,000. The same home in Vancouver would be 1.5 or $1.6 million. So significant change for sure. Toronto has seen a decrease as well of 3.3% in overall home values. The average selling price of a single family home in Vancouver is 1.46 million. Did I say Vancouver? Yeah, I did. I meant Toronto. The average selling price of a single family home in Toronto is $1.46 million. If there are any other cities you want to see and you want to hear about, you please let me know in the comments below. Thanks a lot for watching the video. I look forward to bringing you awesome Canadian real estate information every single month.